As Christy said, my name is Christina Benton, and I am the Suicide Prevention Manager with the Virginia Department of Health. We're just down the street, I guess, located in downtown Richmond. We are the state-level health department, so we're for statewide activities, not just particular to the Richmond area. My program is funded, just to give you a very brief background, with a federal grant from SAMHSA, the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Association. I could have said that wrong. But we are funded through them for a youth suicide prevention program. We're actually in getting ready to start our 6th year of the program, and with those monies and those funds, we're doing a lot of suicide prevention work across the state. We fund 3 sub-grantees in the Rappahannock area of Virginia, which is kind of the west of the Fredericksburg area. We're funding a site down in Southwest Virginia in the Bristol area, and another site in the Lynchburg area. Like Mark said, a lot of the rates are highest in the more rural sections of the state, and so we're really working with those areas because their rates were higher. Another sub-grantee that we fund is James Madison University, and I'm not going to speak to that because Jane Wiggins here is our sub-grantee, and she will speak in a little bit about the efforts that we are doing with college campuses across the state. So what our sub-grantees are primarily doing, as well as myself at the state level in parts of the state that we're not directly funding, is working a lot with secondary schools to help schools implement and put into place suicide prevention guidelines, protocols, post-vention policies and guidelines, as well as training the staff and the students themselves on how they can recognize the signs of suicide in, the students, their faculty, as well as working in the community with a lot of different organizations doing the same thing. Like Kathy's story illustrates, and how Mark said, people who are thinking about suicide are letting everybody know. It's just up to us to be able to recognize it and to be able to respond and to be able to ask them if they're having thoughts of suicide. So we do a lot of education and training so that people can better know how to recognize those signs, and then so that they have the confidence to be able to ask if they're having thoughts. It can be a very, very scary thing to do. And so a lot of what we do is really just built around helping to educate people on that and to reduce the stigma that is associated, unfortunately, with suicide, as well as mental illness in general. We are really here as a resource for you guys. All of the trainings that we offer are free of charge to the public. We have trainers all across the state, some of who are in this room right now, and we are more than happy to come to where you are and to do a training. We have a number of different types of trainings that we offer. Some that are for general audiences, lay people. They're kind of in a tier, I guess, kind of fashion, with the shortest training being about an hour long, and it's kind of more of a suicide 101, and it teaches you the pretty basic steps of recognizing warning signs, asking somebody if they're having thoughts, and getting them referred to that next level of care. From there, we have a 3-hour training called Safe Talk that is a little bit more in depth. It focuses primarily on the steps of asking somebody and getting them referred off to help. There's a little bit of role-playing built in it. We think role-playing is great because it actually gives you the chance to put the skills that you're learning into practice before you walk out the door. And so building on that, we have one of our most popular trainings that we provide, which is called Assist. It's a full 2-day training, and it goes a gazillion steps farther than the previous 2 that I mentioned. in that it incorporates risk assessment as well as safe planning, and there's lots of role play built into it so that when you walk out the door, you could turn around and feel confident that you would be able to help somebody if you ran into someone at the hairdresser or the cashier who's checking you out at the grocery store, and you would know what to say, you would know what to ask, and you would know how to talk with them and listen and to get them referred to help. So those are kind of the trainings that we have for lay people or in general audiences. We do also offer trainings that are specifically for clinicians. We have a 2-day training called Recognizing and Responding to Suicide Risk. That is for mental health clinicians. It's very similar to our ASSIST training, but it's using the language of mental health professionals. And it's really about helping clinicians to be able to assess risk in the patients that they see on a regular basis and to create treatment plans for them. We do, like I said, we're really here as a resource for you guys here in this room and everyone else in the state. We have a lot of materials that we can offer to you guys free of charge. One of the things that we heavily promote, and it may be mentioned at different points during the night, is the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline number. You'll notice on the pad that you guys are writing on, the number is on that, as well as there was a wallet card that was put at your seat. The Lifeline number is a national 24/7 hotline. If you call this number, whether it be for yourself or because you have concerns about a loved one or a friend, you will automatically be directed to a local crisis center in Virginia. There are 4 in the state, and you call the number automatically based on your area code. You are going to be directed to somebody local who is going to know the resources that are available to you, and they will get you or whoever it is that you might be calling about connected to the help that that they need. There's also, I don't know really what the makeup of the room is, but connected with that line is a veterans hotline. If you call the number, I think you're initially prompted and asked if you're a veteran, and if you are, you press 1, and you're connected to, and active duty, yes. And you're connected to the Veterans Hotline Center up in, there you go, New York. And Jennifer, I'm sure, will speak to the veteran stuff a little bit more, so I won't go on about that. But I can't stress enough the importance of the number. It saves lives. So please take the wallet card, you fold it, and it fits very nicely into your wallet. You never know when you're going to come across somebody who may be having thoughts of suicide, so it's a great resource to have on hand, not only because of the number, but it also has a lot of great warning signs inside of it that you can look out for. Again, I guess just as closing, I really want to thank you guys for taking the time this evening to come out, and I just want to stress really that I am here as a resource, and my program is here as a resource for you. And again, just to reiterate what Mark and Kathy were speaking to earlier, if someone is having thoughts of suicide, there is help and there is hope for them. And it really is, up to us as gatekeepers and kind of the people on the front line to recognize it and to be able to help them get connected to that help that they need. Thank you.